Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3, and the final episode, I believe, of... Life is Strange Before the Storm. We're coming to this one a little bit hot. Usually we have some, a little bit of setup and prep work that we do, but we're going to be a little bit limited on our recording time, and we want to make sure that we have an adequate opportunity to play through the game, and then usually at the end, there's we break down everything that happened and all of our thoughts about the adventure. Now, there is a bonus episode, so that sort of summation might be saved until after the bonus episode. I don't know how long the bonus episode is. I don't know if we're going to wait until next week to do it. We will cover that at some other point. But as always, with all of this intro out of the way, once the game starts and the characters are talking, I am not. And yeah. We got very fortunate with episode 2. It looks like none of that got muted. However, there might be the need to talk over or to cut short anything that sounds like licensed music. My apologies. I would prefer to be able to hear all of that with you, but the music companies feel differently. And with that, let's jump into episode 3, Hell is Empty, which is a reference to the Tempest that they performed last week.
I want to tell you all of it. But are you sure that Chloe should be here for...
Chloe stays.
Of course. In every way that matters, Rose is my wife and your mother. But the woman you saw at the Overlook, her name is Sarah. Your birth mother. I'm going to tell you everything, Rachel. Everything I've shielded you from for so long. But the truth can be hard to look at. Is this really something you're ready for?
Chloe. I'm right here. Good. I need you.
I'm just looking around briefly to see if there's anything else. All right, let's do it.
When I was in high school, there was one person everyone adored. Her teachers, her friends. Sarah was everyone's favorite. Every boy wanted to date her. I could barely believe it when she picked me. Sometimes, I think that's what kept me blind for so long.
Sorry, I'm just curious, what if...
She was so beautiful, just like you.
She was so alive, so passionate about everything. Early on, though, I realized I wasn't enough for her. While the rest of us were pursuing college, careers, families, Sarah wasn't looking for any of that. She was looking for escape. I only saw what I wanted to see, until it was almost too late. when Sarah became pregnant, I thought it would solve everything. And it did. For a little while. Becoming your father was the greatest moment of my life. There was so much love, but I was still blind.
This all feels like someone else's life.
Whatever happens, Rachel, I'm here.
However much she loved you then, it wasn't enough. For Sarah, the need to escape was always there. For over a year, I tried to help her. I made myself believe that she was still a good person. That no matter what happened, she would never do anything to hurt you. I was wrong. Eventually, I saw her for who she really was. A destructive person. Someone who could never be satisfied. Anyone or anything. Even the love of her own daughter. I was desperate. I didn't know what to do. So I made a choice. I was never going to let her harm you again.
I'm just noting that there's no follow-up on that one. There's no second look at it.
What you saw at the Overlook, Rachel, it was true. We kissed. It was the saddest kiss of my life. It was a kiss goodbye. I told her that I was happy for her. That she felt like she'd gotten her life together. Finally. But she didn't get to just decide one day to be a mother. Not after what she'd done. Not after all the people she hurt. All the lives she destroyed. I told her she'd been given the greatest gift in the world. The chance to be your mother. And she squandered it. It pained me to hurt her like that. But I'd do it again. And again. And again. To keep you safe.
So that was the first time you've seen her or spoken with her in 15 years?
No. I sent her money. Every single month. It's our arrangement.
But now, she wants to see me?
Yes. But Rachel, it cannot be.
Oh, Chloe, you should not say anything. You should not say anything. This is not... Oh, boy. Being there is important. Injecting yourself here? Dead wrong. Dead wrong.
Why not? If that's what Rachel wants.
Drug addiction is a disease. It afflicts everyone, not just the addict. I will not allow you to be victimized by her disease again.
Even if that's true, Rachel could still meet her. And maybe the fact that she wants to see me means she's gotten better.
Maybe so. But consider that for 15 years, she's preferred that money to you.
Rachel. I think I need to lie down. I can't leave Rachel to deal with this alone.
So a couple quick thoughts. A, I really like the presentation, how they added some interactivity to the storytelling, so it wasn't just a single monologue lore dump. I think that they did a really great job with that, and Chloe and Rachel sitting on the couch in the void, thumbs up. That's a really difficult story to listen to. Unless we get some sort of countervailing information to what's the phrase that I'm thinking of? To go against contradict, there we go, what James has just said. We're going to take his version of events as fact. That said, any contradicting evidence, testimony that we get, up to and including from Sarah, at least to an extent, will be taken very seriously, because I do not trust James Amber. I dislike the man intensely. It's a little bit difficult for me to separate out the things that he's done versus, like, just his voice, like the way that he acts. It's very, very off-putting to me in a way that goes well beyond any other character in the game. But like, here's the thing. Usually we talk about these things in this sort of depth at the end. It's the fact that he's not wrong. And when it comes to drug addiction, drug addicts can be incredibly coherent, sincere, believable liars, and that's going to be something that we might have to navigate. To my memory, Sarah has not had a single line, a single word of dialogue so far. I have to assume that, given that what we now know about her relevance to the story, we're going to have some sort of a chat with her. Let's briefly look through a couple things. Let me go back. Wow. Okay, so all the way from the start, this is a brand new text message from Dana. Rachel and Chloe, where are you guys? We're at the Tempest Cast party. Remember that, everyone? Juliet, I already texted Rachel like 8 times. Chloe says, I don't think we're making it. What is this? This is just after midnight on the 9th. Yeah. So I don't know if that's just happened. Like, this is currently after midnight. Because we came here for dinner. Okay, let's just keep going. Dana says, Chloe, you should come, heart. Hayden says, yeah, Chloe, you did awesome, babe. Brooke, hi, Brooke. Wow, we haven't seen Brooke all game long. Hey, Chloe, great job tonight. I sort of want to do a Brooke, but, like, I can't. She has that super deadpan, everybody knows from the first game. Chloe only says thanks, I can't. Chloe's so discreet. I actually really like it. Dana says you were amazing. Juliet says, I'll even admit that Mr. Keaton seemed a little disappointed when I arrived. Juliet's the woman that Chloe was playing her part. What was that, Ariel? Dana says, seriously, just come. Hayden says, bring Rachel. And Chloe just says, sorry, guys. So, again, we don't have to break down every little minutia, but one of the things that I like about this is that we know Chloe is being extremely discreet, everyone else on the text chain is going to be like, what's wrong with Chloe? Like, what, you know, Chloe's stealing Rachel away. Rachel's our friend. We love Rachel. Now Chloe's come up. She comes up on stage. She won't even hang out with us. Chloe's weird. Like, there's going to be a disconnect between what Chloe's doing and what everybody thinks she's doing. And I can see that unfolding right now. And it's really interesting to me. Oh, whoops. Okay. So I did want to also look at the journal. We usually start out every episode by looking at the journal. Let's try to figure out the last thing that we saw. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is it. And although it's like a bunch of pages, it goes by real quick. You ever hated someone, Max? You ever hated someone's guts, but then later felt bad because you found out they're actually cooler than you thought? Yeah, me neither. David got it inside his douchebag skull that he needs me to start. Well, that first paragraph felt a lot like how I felt about Drew North. It's not that I hated him, it's that I didn't really like him very much, and then we found out a lot more about that kid, and like, oh, okay. Maybe slower to judge on the whole. But we're not there yet in her journal. David got it inside his douchebag skull that he needs to start cracking down on me, which meant demanding I empty my pockets for him in the Blackwell parking lot. I refuse because fuck fascists. And if that's what Mom needs to trust me, then that's her problem. There's a lot there. I guess it backfired because now David is moving into my old house. I say old house because if he's there, I sure as shit am not. Oh, I also bumped into Elliot. He's super into me still. Everybody wants a piece of Price. Chloe, bane of fascists. Max, ever been to therapy? It's actually kind of awesome. And I don't mean writing down your feelings and hugging and crying and shit. I'm talking about popping open the hood and getting your hands dirty. Rachel's awesome at it, because of course she is. We talked about my mom, David, my expulsion. Rachel didn't want to talk as much, but I got her to open up. I'm glad I did. By the end, everything, I don't know, just seemed a little less broken, I guess. Speaking of, I found this gnarly truck that I started fixing up. Who knows if I'll ever get it running, but for now, I'm glad just to have a problem I might actually be able to solve. And maybe an escape vehicle? Stay tuned. Fixing trucks and fixing brains. Who needs school anyway? Chloe, the less broken fixer. I love her art, like all of her drawings there. The super realistic wrenches on the left and bolts, like really well, like articulated, like drawn out, followed by the kind of cartoony truck over there, Smokey and Joint. It's great. It's really good, her art. Max, how do you know when it's time to take a relationship to the next level? I'm talking about my drug dealer, Frank, of course. He wants me to do a job for him, picking up money from Drew North. You know, Drew, Blackwell's premier jockstrap, and now apparently oxy dealer. Dude is in pretty deep, it seems. But it should be an easy job. Yeah, it should be. No worries, Chloe. Oops. And besides, I could use the money for mine and Rachel's escape fund. Which, speaking of Rachel, guess whose skis-ball dad side piece I saw coming out of Frank's RV? I pressed Frank for info and learned that her name is Sarah, and she's only been around for a couple of weeks. Oh, and she loves the drugs. Oh my god, you guys, this is why I'm glad that we're reading the journal, because I had a suspicion that I might have shared at the end of the previous episode that James Amber had political ambitions, that Sarah had an ongoing drug problem, and that's why he would have dumped her, gotten custody of Rachel, and then gone on to get a more, like, political, career-friendly wife. What never factored into that at all was the fact that we saw Sarah coming out of Frank's RV. I remember seeing her come out of the RV. I remember the conversation with Frank. For whatever reason, Frank's job as a drug dealer never factored into my belief. At least I don't remember it until like right now. And it's so obvious that you're supposed to put those together. She loves the drugs, weird. All right, off to make my triumphant return to Blackwell. At least I'm getting paid to go there this time. Chloe, the criminally awesome. Fuck. Remember that easy job for Frank I told you about? Yeah, not quite. First, I jacked Samuel's keys, then used my Jedi powers to get past Skip in the dorms, by which I mean talking about my lady bits till he freaked out and let me in. Took a brief detour into Elliot's room and read his poetry. Dude's got feelings. For me, I think. I'm flattered, I guess. Anyway, I found the cache. I found that super creepy. With, like, the knife. Remember the knife that was, like... not a fan of Elliot. For real. Unrequited feelings can take on some dark places. I'm not saying that I'm afraid of Elliot, but yeah, he's got it bad, and it's not him, like we've been saying the whole way. It's just not you, Elliot. I'm sorry. Anyway, I found the cache, but then Drew and Mikey showed up, followed by Frank's psychopath boss, Damon. Have you ever met someone that you just knew never to fuck with? I hadn't until today. Damon started beating the shit out of Drew for the money he owed. I stayed with Mikey like Drew wanted. It was horrifying. I think Damon actually broke Drew's knee. After, I gave Drew the money instead of holding it for Frank or giving it to Damon. Felt like the right thing to do. Strong agree, Chloe. It was all so fucked. And the most fucked part? That I had anything to do with it. Chloe the regifter. Max. Just when I thought this day couldn't get any more dramatic... Wait, let's back up. Guess who tried to drug Rachel and Jack her role? Don't worry, Rachel and I turned the tables on Victoria and gave her a taste of her own medicine. Literally. Sadly, but she consumed a taste of her own medicine. I never thought she was dumb enough to do it. Sadly, the drama doesn't end there for me. Stupid Juliet got caught in the stupid fire, and now I... They posted down there, more toil? I think that's also a thing. Yeah, look. Down at the bottom left. I can't point at it, but there's like a little diagram of the stage. Oh, that's so cool. Moving on. Let's just say there's exactly one person in the world who could make me dress up in a funny costume and act out Shakespeare in front of an audience of all my least favorite people. And she happened to be next to me at exactly the wrong moment. Chloe, the fuck my life. Hell equals empty. Triple underline. I really like her journal. I love Max's journal too. So I survived, but just in case you were worried about me, you totally weren't. Just in case you were worried about me, you totally weren't. But it wasn't easy. I had to remember what to say and where to go, and not to flip off everyone in the audience. Not gonna lie, I totally killed it. Once I got past the stupid makeup and the blinding lights and just let myself get lost in it all. She's got a section of the script down there, by the way, bottom left. And then, I'm sorry, but there's like a director's clapper, and it says, I call that, it's just a clapper, isn't it? But Chloe's Life, the prequel. Boy, if only you knew, Chloe. I guess acting is really about forgetting the rest of the world exists and being completely in the moment. When I'm with Rachel, somehow that becomes easy. We ended up creating a new story together on stage. A much better story, because this one ends with the two of us escaping the island and sailing off into the sunset together. Take that, Shakespeare. Will real life turn out so awesome? Time will tell. Chloe, the bardest bitch in town. And then she's got some tickets there. Ticket stubs. Max. Time is told, and no, it turns out that real life is not like the stage. It is so much better. We're leaving, tonight. Boom, peace out, Arcadia Bay. We're headed to Los Angeles, home of movie stars, dank weed, and who cares? All that matters is that it's not here. I didn't believe Rachel at first. It's not that I don't trust her, but she tends to get swept away in the moment. Let's just say we're tied together now. She gave me her bracelet. It's her most prized possession in the world, and she tied it around my wrist to show that we're united for whatever happens. After a quick stop by Rachel's house, we're headed off. Next time you hear from me, we'll be an ex-Arcadian just like you. Chloe, this is so much better. Now, I don't know what that receipt... It looks like a receipt over there on the right. It looks like it's from a gas station by Bruce the teller, but I don't remember Chloe going to a gas station, so I don't know what that represents. Last page. Max. I used to think the strangest thing about the Ambers was how normal they were. They seemed like a bad 90s sitcom family, and I disagree. A bad 80s sitcom. There's nothing about the Ambers that's 90s to me at all. Mid 2000s or 80s, but not 90s. in my opinion. And I did my best to play the part of the wacky yet lovable best friend. Is that what you were going for, Chloe? Because she was really on stage during the dinner scene. And the leading up to dinner scene. Yes, I did tag a newspaper picture of James on the fridge, but only because his face looked so stupid. The goal was to get in and out of there without causing a scene so we could just make our escape. About that. It turns out Rachel couldn't sit back and let her cheating father act all high and mighty. I tried to distract her and remind her of our goal. It almost worked. Then Rachel snapped. I guess she just can't stand the lying anymore. She told her mom... I'm sorry, I'm hiccuping. She told her mom about James making out with that woman. Everyone started yelling, and the next thing I knew, Rachel was going full Destructicon on the table. Wow, Chloe. Okay. Destructicon it feels like a deep cut to me, but Chloe, she might be around the right age. That's when the truth finally came out. Rachel's mom equals not her mom. Rachel's real mom equals makeout woman. Mind blown. Chloe, the wacky yet lovable. Okay. We are up to date on the journal and the text messages.
Rachel only knew half the truth when she set that fire. What if she'd known everything? Whoa. Sarah Gearhart is a known associate of that psycho who attacked Drew? Then again, so is Frank.
What's it like? Chloe, so again, Sarah's attached to Frank, not Damon Merrick. So this little map has no more information than what Chloe already knew.
I hope tonight hasn't messed up Rachel's memories of family trips like this.
Except with the one exception of now Chloe knows that law enforcement and, James Amber is also aware of that crime ring and Sarah.
The Tempest show feels so far away now.
Okay, I don't remember reading this. Armin is saying congrats to the wonderful cast and crew of The Tempest. Steph is so sorry she missed out. Emergency came up. Yeah, again, Steph sort of playing it discreet over what happened to Drew. Rachel says, love you guys. Juliet says, I'm so sorry. Hayden says, why sorry? You don't control the fire, or do you? Steph says, Chloe held it down like a champ. Well, thanks, Steph. You weren't there, but I assume you're passing along word of mouth. Logan says, any update on how Drew's doing? Zach says, recovering. We're going to go see him first thing tomorrow.
This is so painful to look at.
Yeah, this is just... I do think that we saw last time. All right.
This seems like a James and Rose bookshelf. I can't imagine Sarah here instead.
I want to look around more before we talk to James.
Hard to argue that Rachel would have had a better life with Sarah. But does that make what James did right?
I had never seen this very precarious statue. It just seems like there's not a lot of reason to go back into this area, but if you so much as jostle that whole statue comes down. It's a miracle. Oh, look at the cleaning supplies. That's a nice touch.
I guess there's worse things than growing up around fancy stuff like this. Holy shit. Rachel completely destroyed that table.
Yeah, you're not going to want to walk on that rug in bare feet for a while.
Can't believe I was feeling goofy enough to draw that just a few hours ago.
Rose didn't say a word.
It's so weird to look at this now.
It was kind of weird to look at it before, though, too. This family's always had a weird vibe. Rose didn't say a word during any of that, so I do feel like I want to check up with her mostly.
I can't even imagine how she must be feeling. Hey, Mrs. Amber.
I think it's Rose at this point, considering everything.
Okay. Rose. Do you need any help with anything?
That's very kind of you. Could you get out the broom for me? It's in the breezeway. Door to the left of the fridge.
Okay, before we do that, like in real life, I would absolutely go over and do that immediately, but that might actually advance the story. Also, another random woman statue. Okay. I don't object to woman statue. I just hadn't noticed these around last time.
Wonder what James is thinking right now. This must be hard for you too, Mr. Amber.
It could be far worse. My biggest fear is that Rachel will try to meet Sarah. I've dreaded it.
So that's why you never told her?
You have no idea what pain Sarah's caused. Her addiction has led her to do terrible things. I don't want Rachel to go through any of that.
I don't understand. Are you afraid that Sarah would do something to Rachel?
I don't think she would deliberately harm anyone. But addicts can cause tremendous harm without meaning to.
Yeah. But Rachel's not a baby anymore.
Listen to me. Sarah brought criminals and drug dealers into our home. She put Rachel in serious danger just to chase her habit.
Do you think Sarah is involved with any of the drug dealers around here?
It wouldn't surprise me if she were. That's who she is. Chloe, I believe Rachel trusts you more than anyone else right now.
Is this where you ask me to manipulate Rachel into doing what you want?
This is where I ask you to do as your conscience dictates. But please, put my daughter's safety first.
Again, I'm trying to separate out some of the things. You know what? I don't know that I have new information. Putting her safety first is something that Chloe would do, except they want to run away. Remember, that's the whole thing. I don't know if that plan is still on. It super feels like it's not, but running away is not safe. It is what they were planning to do. So I don't think that Chloe would, if she was to promise like safety first, she'd be lying. I don't think that Chloe is much of a liar. I mean, she's lied, sure, but I feel like Chloe seeks the truth above all else.
Maybe try the truth for a change?
What do you mean?
Well, you did lie to your daughter for 15 years.
This is true. And that's why I need your help. I only care about Rachel, Chloe.
I'll do what I can. I care about her too, you know?
I know. Thank you.
There's something about him that's so slimy that I actually don't have any reason to doubt anything that he's just said, at least not yet. And yet I feel like there's a lot of what feels like manipulative tactics being deployed. I'm only in it for her. I need your help. Do what your conscience dictates. It feels to me like he is addressing a jury. And it's very difficult for me to separate out his profession of a district attorney. Like here's another thing. There's a file not 3 feet from here that says Sarah Gearhart is directly associated with local drug dealers. Chloe asks him point blank, do you think that she's associated with local drug dealers? He responds with this weasel word version of, it wouldn't surprise me if she were. Right, because you know she is. Now, how much of that is professional courtesy? Like not courtesy, but like, you don't talk about an open investigation, you don't spread rumors, lies, innuendo, supposition about people who might prove to be innocent. We saw Sarah come out of Frank's RV. We did not see Sarah carrying a brick of weed out of Frank's RV. We don't know that any drugs changed hands. Based on his story, we would have reason to believe that there was, but so far it's only his story, and he's telling a story that he knows will comport with other facts that he's already picked up on, including the fact that Rachel has been seen around Frank Bowers. For all we know, Sarah could have been going to Frank to check up on somebody that she knows her daughter is associated with. There could be more going on here. We're going to keep playing right now, but I'm trying to put to words, just sort of like, I simultaneously currently believe him and also just dislike the shit out of this guy. I really do. Shirt. What's shirt?
Hey, cool graphic. Rachel was really getting rid of this?
Take it. Take. It's for donation.
Mrs. Amber, could I have this?
Oh, sure, Chloe. Rachel was going to give it away anyhow.
Thanks.
It's just, if you stop to think of all of the events of the night, Chloe going, oh hey, can I have this cool shirt? Okay, now I assume, maybe we have to go talk to Rose, but I would assume that we're going to use the... Look? No. Okay. Where I guess...
Rachel took that pretty hard. I should see if she's okay. Here you go.
Thank you. I'm really quite glad that you're here.
I'm glad too.
You've had to cope with much worse, I know. I'm grateful Rachel has someone as strong as you. How are you doing, Chloe?
How am I doing?
Your generation loves to talk about how awkward different things are. Well, this must be pretty awkward, I'd imagine.
I guess I'm not great. Rachel and I were really happy a few hours ago, and now...
Maybe you can see why James wanted to keep this a secret. There are many painful things about Rachel's past, including my own role in hiding the truth.
Sarah shouldn't have taken money over seeing her daughter.
You know, I am so thankful to her that she did. It gave me the opportunity to be Rachel's mother. I never knew how much I could love someone until I had Rachel.
But hearing the truth after all these years hurt Rachel more than anything.
I'm not happy with James for the whole way this came out.
You're not happy with James? What about what he did at the Overlook?
It might be hard for you to understand, but after 13 years of marriage, I'm not threatened by what happened.
You're right. I don't understand.
You don't have to worry about me or James. Rachel's the one who needs you right now.
Do you think Sarah is dangerous?
I've never met her, so I don't know. But I'm inclined to trust my husband. His entire life is about keeping people safe. Rachel's extremely fortunate to have him as her father.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chloe.
Rose is so calm. Not like Rachel at all, really.
I can't imagine there's anything else to say to either her or James.
You're welcome to stay here as long as you need to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm depending on you to keep Rachel safe, Chloe.
Yeah, we've seen everything down here. So I don't know how it's going to come up between the two of them. Are we still leaving or not? As an adult, I'm sitting over here saying, this doesn't feel like the moment to make, like, a major life decision. Of course, as an adult, a couple, what are they, 16-year-olds jetting off to California, like going probably about 1,500 miles away from home, completely on their own, and just deciding that they're going to forge a brand new life.
Rachel?
That doesn't feel like a great choice either. But here, now, on top of that, all of this...
I need some way to show Rachel that I'm here for her.
Everything else that's happened... We're going to do it just so that the, be here for... Sorry, it's just... I really like the idea that Chloe writes her objective on her hand, but... One reminder, one IOU, be here for Rachel. It doesn't feel appropriate for Chloe to come in and say, who cares, let's get packed and go. This is more reason to go, let's get out of here. A lot has gotten dumped on Rachel today.
Rachel has so many inspirations, she can barely keep them all contained.
So there's a casting call, road trip, bunnies, and then a few quotes. Let us think the unthinkable. Let us do the undoable. Let us prepare to grapple with the ineffable itself. With the ineffable itself. And see if we may not F it after all. Douglas Adams. Is it well that I should with... Wow, okay, this is not the most natural language to me. Is it well... that I should with to leave this dreary world behind, seeking for your fair utopia, which perchance I may not find. Henry Kendall. The beginning is always today, Mary Wollstonecraft, and then nothing is impossible, the word itself says, I'm possible. Audrey Hepburn. And then she's got some other, looks like playbills that she's liked.
The yin and badass yang of Rachel Amber. Rachel even knows how to make a dinky lamp look cool. Rachel's surrounded by so much love, yet she seems so... alone.
I have to imagine that it's her first show in Arcadia Bay. It's a small detail, but it just doesn't feel like that's her first time on stage.
Rachel's surrounded by so much love. Makes sense that Rachel needs two signs to contain her awesomeness. I shall call her Lion Crab from now on.
Strengths: creative, passionate, loving, devoted, diplomatic. Weaknesses: self-centered, volatile, possessive, and dramatic. Huh. So minus the diplomatic part, I actually would have applied nearly all of these to Chloe. I'm not so sure about possessive. I'd have to think about that one, but a lot of the other ones are...
Cool light.
Maybe those are aspects that would make that would make Chloe and Rachel well suited for each other.
We were so close to making our break last night. Now, I don't know. Is there a section on how to walk fours through batshit crazy family drama? No?
So apparently, Rachel Amber is Type 4, the individualist. Type 4s can be the most creative of the types when they're able to reach their potential. At their best, Type 4s are inspired, productive, sensitive, and independent. In a difficult environment, however, Type 4s can fall into melancholy and self-indulgence. 4s craft their own identities by picking and choosing a select few of their emotions to rely on, and all but blocking out the rest. Type 4s define themselves by their differences from other people. While this can lead to incredible talent and creativity, it can also lead to an unhealthy obsession on their perceived deficiencies and flaws. The best thing for 4 is to learn how to let go of feelings from the past and focus on the potential that the future holds. So I'm just taking a look at some of the other types. So what? Just based on the names, I'd have to go with Chloe. Looks like a Type 8 Challenger. Yeah, 100% based on these. And I'd have to go with, without knowing very much about this chart, Max would probably go for Investigator. She was always very curious.
May you always be safe. Sure. But from who?
I wanna look at things before I start touching them.
Rachel's always made being an A student seem so easy. Almost sad to see all this effort.
So we're gonna graffiti. I will note that if I thought for even one instant that this was gonna be something nasty or cruel, I would not do it.
I think Rachel could use another subject. But which one?
Wait, should I have gone with anatomy? Am I not choosing the flirty options?
That's the one.
Page 420, Puff Puff versus Pass. Oh, maybe I messed that up.
Even you, Willie, couldn't come up with the tragedy Rachel's going through. Rachel's really into stars. I wonder if it's her way of feeling connected. I bet Rachel would rather be anywhere but here. Maybe I can make the world a less scary place.
So we're going to go with something that Chloe said, because again, we're looking for ways to demonstrate that we're here for her.
Back on the train, I said...
I have absolutely no predictions on what she's writing there. Let me know if you need an accomplice. I honestly don't remember that exact phrase. That sounds right. It sounds like something that she would have said.
I've heard that Rachel and Nathan hang out sometimes, but it still seems hard to believe.
One of the neat things that I like and admire about, like, Rachel Amber is that it doesn't feel like she was given to clicks at all.
Hard to believe the show was only a few hours ago. Seems like everything has changed since then.
Boy, I'm really struggling. It seems weird to me to save them, and yet maybe it's something that Chloe would do? No, I really don't think it is. I cannot in my head. She takes the flowers out, she puts them back into one of those cups or something. Rachel threw them out. Chloe has no delusions about the magical healing power of family. I don't think that she would do that.
I know something Miss Arcadia doesn't.
Do you Miss Arcadia? Sorry, it sounded like she was starting to say something else. Dear Miss Arcadia, what's the real deal with that fire north of town, and when's it going to come down here and incinerate us all in its fiery hug of death? Asking for a friend. Bros before bronies asked that question. Guy Forget is first. King Waltz is first. King Waltz is not first. North Coaster says, didn't the fire start the day after Firewalk was here? Miss Arcadia says, that is a strange one, friends. ABFD sources say they've never seen anything like it. No idea where it came from. No idea why it's not lasted this long. Total mystery. Time to put on your tinfoil hats and start speculating. Great advice, Miss Arcadia. I can definitely see why you have an advice column. There's a dragon. Prescott's like 50% serious. Why only 50%? Asks nothing forever. I guess. Prescott's are shady as shit. You really put this past them. They probably had some incriminating evidence to burn, or better yet, bodies. Not to mention the chemtrails they drop all over town, highly flammable. Go fuck yourself, nothing forever. Occam's Rangers, just some kids getting high in the woods. As for the weirdness, this town is weird. What else is new? Nothing Forever says, but why male models? Or sorry, Lady Effrey asks Nothing Forever, why male models? What? Okay. So, now we're going to start looking around a little bit more. Sure. I don't have an immediate need for a flashlight, but... Oh, hold on. Mom is calling. I'm probably past Chloe. Past curfew. I'm also past Chloe. Okay, we have to leave and then go back in. It's weird. I miss you. So I think it starts here. Yeah, it's just after. It's almost 1 a.m. Chloe, I'm leaving the door unlocked in case you don't have your key. Please come home. It doesn't matter that it's after curfew. Chloe says, Mom, I can't right now. And Mom says, please. Again, Chloe not spilling the beans on what's going on because she's kind of private about it.
This light needs more light.
Probably looks...
Wonder what I could find around here to brighten up that nightlight.
Flashlight. Wow. Whoops.
All ready for Rachel's light show. Better get her. Wish there was some way to make this brighter.
I did not mean to interrupt her. Okay.
I can't imagine what Rachel is thinking right now. I want her to tell me when she's ready.
So, I don't know how this is going to play if we just skip straight to stars, but it feels like, hey, cool, look at this, and maybe it won't, like, break fiction or whatever. We'll see if this sort of gets her to open up. I don't know what we missed by not talking to her first.
Check it out.
It's beautiful.
I thought you might like it.
I've always loved stars.
Why?
They remind us there's so much beauty out there, which we almost never see.
Because we're blinded by what's in front of us.
Exactly. But then I learned the truth. The stars we're seeing have already been dead for millions of years. They're all lies.
But that doesn't make them any less beautiful, right?
I don't know. If they're not even real, then what's the point? It's all lies. Everything. My entire life. My dad. My mom. If I can even call her that anymore. And that other woman. My real mom. She's the biggest lie of all. I can't trust any of them. I think you're the only one in the world I can trust.
So what is maybe supposed to be?
I'll take it. Even if it's only by process of elimination.
Good. I wore this bracelet my entire life. I never even asked why. Never even thought about it. Somehow, I think I always knew. Even when I didn't know. That my real mother was gone.
You should take it back.
No. There's nowhere else I'd rather keep it than right here.
So again, like, I have to press B and leave, and what is supposed to be a moment between the two of them has to get cut short, and I really don't want it to. I will maybe just pause here for a moment to say I'm really glad now that we got the bracelet. It was kind of irritating at the end of the previous episode that there had been an opportunity, apparently, to ask Rachel Amber for a kiss after the play. It felt like absolutely the perfect moment for Chloe to, like, verbalize what I think that it's very clear that she wants. But now, the fact that Rachel did hand over the bracelet and that it's on Chloe as Rachel realizes what it means, feels like exactly right. It feels exactly where it should be. Also, just as we go, and I promise I'm not sitting here and like rivet counting, I really like the way that the stars are projecting against the beams, how they sort of like distort as they go up the more like vertical sections. And also, just for the record, why is it rotating? It really shouldn't be. I'm not complaining. It's just a little bit weird because it's just a flashlight on the ground. It doesn't have anything, but we'll move on.
The fact that she's here right now, that she came here for me, I think I need to see her. Is that wrong?
Of course not. But it might be tough to track her down.
Yeah. That's true. Luckily, I've got my secret weapon. But what if we can't find her? It's not like I can ask my dad. I have no idea where to start.
Let me handle it.
Really?
Really.
Mysterious. I like it. Of course, even if we know where she is, We need a way to get to her. I can't just ask my parents for a ride.
I think I might be able to fix up that truck in the junkyard.
Really?
I'll give it my best.
I know you will. But even if we find her, how will I talk to her? What do I say?
After my dad died, I was worried I wouldn't know how to talk to him anymore. But somehow, when we speak, I always know what to say.
When you speak?
In my dreams, he's there. And it's so real. It's almost like it's another part of my life. It used to be the only part that mattered. I've never told anyone about that. Weird, huh? Rachel?
I was just thinking. Maybe I was wrong before. Who cares if the stars are dead? As long as we can still see them, that means they're real. To us. Right?
Right.
Yeah, I'd way rather have the slow rotation of the stars with no in-universe explanation for why they're rotating than to just have them staying stock still. I think it's much better in this way. It's just like 5% funny. This is a great place to call part 1. We will see you in just mere moments for part 2 of episode 3 of Before the Storm. We'll see you then.